Agree 賛成する、同意する。基本的な意味はこれです。でもね、ちょうどこの間、友達と飲みに行った時に、アメリカ人なんですけれども、その友達はですね、全然違う意味で agree を使いました。そうか、なるほど。agree もそういう風にも使えるんだなと思って、皆さんに教えないと。すぐスマホにメモりました。動画のテーマにちょうどいいんだなと考えて、今回の企画が決まりました。ちなみにその友達が言った言葉はこれです。The summers in Japan don't really agree with me. 結論から言いますと、合わないという意味です。体質に合わないとか、性格に合わないとか、そういう意味で使いますね。disagree と don't agree という2つのパターンがありますよね。この動画では don't agree, doesn't agree を使います。なぜかと言いますと、その辺がもうちょっとフレンドリーな感じがするからですね。disagree の方が割とフォーマルな感じがしますので、フレンドリーの方がいいかなと思いました。So I hope today's topic, agree, agrees with you. I'm going to show you how to use it in 4 different situations. This is probably the most common way of using it in a conversation. If you say some type of food or drink doesn't agree with you, it means that your body reacts in a funny way when you eat or drink it. It doesn't mean that you don't like it, it just means that your body has some kind of adverse reaction, like a stomachache, a rash, or an allergy. Shellfish doesn't really agree with me. The last time I had scallops, I was in the toilet all night. So this is actually a true story. Anytime I have like scallops, clams, oysters, they just don't agree with me at all. Japanese sake doesn't agree with me. It always gives me a terrible hangover the next day. Again, this is another true story. I like the taste of Japanese sake, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really agree with me. I avoid spicy food at all costs. It doesn't agree with me at all. So if you avoid something at all costs, it means you try really hard to avoid it. So if you see it at a party, you avoid it at all costs. You try really hard because it doesn't agree with you. Herb tea just doesn't agree with me at all. I don't know why, but it makes me feel queasy. If you feel queasy, it means you feel like you feel that you're going to be sick, you feel bad, but you're not actually being sick, if you know what I mean. You just feel queasy, like if you smell oily food or something, or you go on a roller coaster at the theme park. When you come off the roller coaster, you feel queasy. So, herb tea doesn't agree with me. When it comes to medicine and supplements, some people have absolutely no side effects. But for others, it's another story. We're all different. Our bodies are not made the same. And this is especially true when we get on to the subject of medicine. I guess it's similar to food and drink in that it's something that you're putting in your body. The COVID vaccine Moderna didn't agree with me at all. I had terrible side effects. I don't know about you, but some people were getting the Pfizer one, some people were getting the Moderna one. For some reason, I always got the Moderna, and each time I was useless for like 2 or 3 days. Oh, what a terrible time. It just didn't agree with me at all. I stopped taking the new prescription because it doesn't agree with me. I get terrible headaches. So if you're taking prescription medicine is medicine which the doctor has assigned to you. OTC medicine is over-the-counter medicine which you can buy in the drugstore. You don't need a little paper from the doctor. Every time I take this painkiller, it gives me an upset stomach. It really doesn't agree with me. So to have an upset stomach basically means you have a stomachache. To have a stomach ache, another way of saying it is to have an upset stomach. I tried taking multivitamins, but they didn't agree with me. So my friend took them off my hands. If your friend takes them off your hands, it means they're kind of doing you a favor. Yeah, okay, I'll take it off your hands. Like maybe they don't really want to take it, but okay, I'll take it. Something like that. Ah, Henry, my old lovey. How the dickens are you today? Mustn't grumble, Nigel. Mustn't grumble. Come on, Henry. You don't seem your usual self. Well, if truth be told, Nigel, we went out for some Thai food last night and it didn't really agree with me. Well, I've heard of Delhi belly, but you must have Bangkok belly. Something like that, Nigel. I just hope I'm going to be okay for tonight's performance. King Charles is in the audience. Listen, darling, I've got just the thing for you. It's my grandmother's secret recipe. Thanks a lot. How much do I take? What's that? No, not over there. Oh, let me do it. Environmental factors is another area that differs from person to person. Specific weather conditions or environmental factors can negatively impact a person's health or well-being. That's why some people choose to live in certain regions of a country. The weather or environment agrees with them more than others. The humid climate here doesn't agree with me. I feel exhausted all the time. Well, I can kind of agree with that. The humidity in Japan is pretty incredible, but for me, I've been living here for such a long time, you kind of get used to it, but not 100%. It doesn't really agree with me 100%. I could never live in Hokkaido in the winter. The cold just doesn't agree with me, and my joints ache. So your joints are these parts. These are your joints, finger joints, your elbow joints. So if your joints ache, it's not a good way to live. So some people choose to live in a warm climate because it agrees with them more. Living in a polluted city doesn't agree with me. My asthma and allergies flare up constantly. So remember the pronunciation of asthma. It's got a TH, but you don't really pronounce it like that. It's asthma, asthma. And if something flares up, it means it gets worse. It gets really bad. So if you have some kind of a health problem and under certain environmental conditions, it gets worse, you can say something like, my allergies flare up. The dry climate here just doesn't agree with me. My skin gets dry and itchy, and I'm always parched. So if you're parched, it means you're always going to be thirsty. I'm parched. Give me a drink. Give me a beer. If we have some kind of change in our lifestyles, for some people, it can be a pleasant change. But for others, it makes them unhappy, uncomfortable, or depressed. I'm talking about a new school, a new job, a new city, a new team, a new schedule. Changes in routine or lifestyle can lead to discomfort or even health issues. Working night shifts doesn't agree with me. I'm always tired and irritable. So if you're irritable, it means, you kind of get irritated very easily. You get angry by the tiny little things. Yeah, that kind of thing. So for me, I'm definitely a morning person. I'm not really the kind of person who's good at working at night. But right now, it's 11 p.m. and I'm making a blooming YouTube video. My job at the 7-Eleven doesn't really agree with me. I just can't handle it when the customers are rude. Yeah, so some people, they're really bad at handling rude customers. that kind of job just doesn't agree with them. Living alone doesn't agree with me. It's too quiet, and when I hear noises outside, it makes me jumpy. So jumpy is a good word. Can you imagine someone going, jumpy? Those kinds of people. Are you a jumpy person? I'm not sure if my new school agrees with me or not. Everyone is so serious and it stresses me out. So if something stresses you out, it gives you stress. It makes you feel stressed. It stresses me out. Did you see? King Charles has just arrived. Oh, I can't wait to meet him after the show. Nigel, I'm not feeling at all well. Oh my goodness me. I thought I told you to take my special drink. I did, but it didn't agree with me. I feel even worse. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. No wonder it didn't agree with you. You're only supposed to take 1 spoonful and mix it with water. I don't think I can perform. Nonsense, darling. I won't hear of it. The show must go on. Nigel, please. Places, everyone. Break a leg. This one's for the king. It's homework time. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It would really help me out big time. Okay, I'm going to give you a Japanese sentence and I want you to translate it and use the word agree. Okay, here goes. この薬は体質に合わないので飲めないんです。Okay, so put your answers down in the comments below and I'll check them as soon as I have some time. Okay, good luck.